everyone! So I'm back in Singapore and this is probably not the best way to film a YouTube video, but since we got this new camera, if you watch our vlogs, basically I have gotten a new Vixia equivalent. It's like the new model from Canon and it's actually really handy to film YouTube videos, so I'm just gonna try to get back into it because I really miss YouTube. But anyway, this whole video is about my haul from Japan, and if you can see, the bag on my right is a skincare bag and the bag on my left is a makeup bag, and the discrepancy is quite major. But when it comes to Japan, what I've heard at least is that they are really known for a lot of elegant formulations when it comes to, you know, Japan skincare, predominantly sunscreen. And I can't believe how much sunscreen I got, but I'm just going to talk about stuff that I got while applying some of it on my face because I'm going to head out really quickly and I'm going to probably run late, but I don't want to apply makeup, but I just want to apply some skincare, so better time than now to sort of try it out. So let's go. First thing would be this skin conditioner that, you know, basically it's like super bang for your buck, you know, it's like so huge. Basically I think this is very similar to like rice toners, that kind of milky type of toners, so I was really intrigued to try the really highly raved about toner in Japan. I believe this is like another sort of key ingredient that I'll just list on the screen, but basically I think this will be really good for me because I love gentle products, and essentially if I could just use a micellar water as a toner, I would. So that's how gentle a product I typically prefer for toning and for conditioning. Reason being, I think my skin has improved over the years, and because I'm an oily skin girl, I don't necessarily want to strip my skin off too much, so I thought this would be really good. I'll just keep trying it. It's such a huge bottle, so I thought I better start using it. I got two lotions. This one is the Matsukiyo brand lotion and it's more moisture intensive, and this one, we have this in Singapore definitely, but it was definitely cheaper in Japan. And this is like more of, it's also a lotion. They market it like a lotion. I believe in Japan it's a hybrid between like a serum as well as something a little bit more liquidy like an essence, but it's basically a two-in-one, which obviously I jumped at it because I am all about streamlining my skincare routine. This one, because it's more serum-like, and I have a serum currently in rotation, so I'll use this at a later date. But basically I heard a lot of people compare this to, you know, the snail mucin serums because it's so sticky and emollient that it really solves a lot of dehydrated skin issues, so I can't wait to use it. And this is a moist intense lotion, and from just shaking the two bottles, I definitely feel like this one's a little thicker and this one's a little bit more runny. It's one of my favorite YouTuber who recommends a lot of Japanese products, basically like raved about it, and I would not have considered this brand at all if it wasn't for her. I don't want to put it full on my face just in case of any reaction. I'm just going to saturate it into a cotton pad and just lightly swipe it on my skin rather than to put it directly. I just want to apply a little bit and I'll monitor my skin's reaction throughout the day. From Matsukiyo as well, they have their house brand kind of serums, which was recommended by Tina as well, and it's their moist intensive line, so all these three fall under the same line. Interestingly enough, I initially thought this was like a standalone skincare brand, but it's the drugstore's brand itself, which is like, wow, like, you know, usually we go to a Guardian, they don't really have their own skincare brand, so I thought, you know, this must be something the brand or the drugstore really invests in terms of R&D. And yeah, I just definitely wanted to try it because I heard good things about it. Okay, also another recommendation from Tina. I heard these sheet masks are really good. It comes in this kind of a Ziploc package with multiple sheets inside. Not sure how many, but it feels like a lot. And yeah, I got the Niacinamide one because I'm currently expecting and I'm going to try to breastfeed, so I'm trying to stay away from like vitamin C, retinol, so Niacinamide actually works for my purpose, and I love Niacinamide. My skin is so used to Niacinamide, and yeah, I'm not going to use ingredients that I'm not used to, so basically I decided to give this a try. I won't try it now, but when I do open it, I'll definitely check back in. Okay, so for eye creams, I got 3. This one was pretty hard because I tried to resist, obviously, but I ended up with 3. From the makeup brand Cezanne, this is recommended by Tina as well. So I believe it's like a wrinkle targeting type of an eye cream. I bought this on impulse because I was like busy looking for eye creams, and for some reason it was a little bit harder to find. I'm not sure whether it was sold out or something like that, but yeah, I mean, I will have to look up the ingredient list and see if there's retinols or anything like that. But I love eye creams. They have, you know, dark eye circles, and fine lines will definitely become more prominent throughout the years due to lack of sleep and caring for baby. In this one from Cezanne is quite interesting because it's predominantly a makeup brand, so I thought I'll give this a try. Maybe it will sit well under makeup, which typically eye creams for me don't, which is why I just use my moisturizer underneath my eye. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give this a try. And these two are from Sana. I hope I got the name right, but I'll leave all the information on the screen. Yep, these two are highly recommended. I know these contain retinol, so I probably will only use it maybe once I get into the swing of breastfeeding or something like that. But any mamas out there, just let me know whether or not, you know, small doses of retinol, is it encouraged or is it okay to do so when you're breastfeeding? But yeah, I mean, Tina recommended it as well, impulse buy, but I don't typically buy any eye cream actually. The last time I used it probably was like 5 years ago. Oh yes, the eye cream that I used previously was from Medicube, surprisingly enough, and it was a face and eye cream, so it wasn't really an eye cream. I mean, these are targeted as eye creams, and yeah, one is a 3-in-1, one's a 4-in-1. Not quite sure what the difference is, but I heard great things about it. Okay, so another recommendation from Tina. This basically is a whole recommendation video from Tina, but I'm showing you guys what I actually got of what she recommended. Anyway, I'll leave her link below. It's a very comprehensive guide of everything that she got, and she's truly the expert of everything Japanese skincare. I guess she's bilingual, effectively bilingual, so it really translates to international audience like myself who are in Japan for the first time. But she really recommended these acne treatments, and she also mentioned that, you know, sometimes you can't really find this in the beauty section, which was really helpful because I couldn't find it in the beauty section, and I ended up going over to the pharmacy side and I did find it. So a little bit of background on acne treatment for me. Really gone through the ringer. Like when I was 15, 16, I had really bad acne. You guys can watch my skin story, I talked all about it. Essentially, in terms of spot treatments, my mother used to really recommend this thing called nail madrol. I'm not sure if any of you used it before, but it's dermatologist prescribed and she always used it. And it's basically this kind of like white cream, like before pimple patches, basically a white cream that you put topically on your spots, and it will start to crust up and become a little bit drier. So the essence of it is that this this is a really long story just to say that it's kind of functioning like a pimple patch, but it comes out looking white and opaque, so like, you know, correction tape or correction fluid on your face, but it's supposed to draw out all the impurities. I had such a rough relationship with this product, honestly. Like every time I applied it at home, I felt so self-conscious. It kind of looked like a bird pooped all over my face. It wasn't elegant, but it did the job, you know, about extracting all those things. And yeah, my whole family was very supportive, and like they just tried to laugh it off as a joke, you know, like, you know, a bird chat on your face, that kind of thing. But you know, for me, as someone who's insecure about my skin, I was just like, I hate using this product because it just reminds me of all the different areas in my skin that I can count as an imperfection. So I mean, you know, this just goes to show how skincare has evolved a lot. I was basically like, I have to try a new spot treatment. Like I got to evolve from that previous nail madrol. Typically don't have major acne at the moment, but I do have certain bumps and things like that. I did open one of them. It comes in a tube like that, and basically it's also kind of like a white substance, but when you rub it out it becomes clear. So that was the major thing that I noticed from what she was saying, and actually I'll just apply it on certain bumps now. But yeah, definitely give this a try if you're struggling with acne. I will come back to you on whether or not it really pulls out impurities or what it does for the skin. I did splurge on myself this trip because basically it's me and my husband's Babymoon, but also it was my 29th birthday 2 days after we landed. So I mean, it's just women rationalization going on here. In order to explain my splurge on these, Oh my gosh, they're so expensive, and honestly, I've always been on the anti-SK2 train in my 20s. Like, I basically exclusively use Misha. If you guys know the brand Misha's first treatment, I always recommend that, and I've used Misha for like many years, but I'm not sure when I stopped. Maybe when I stopped YouTube, I didn't repurchase Misha anymore. I went through like 3 bottles of those, and I've never tried SK2 on its own. I've only really compared the ingredient list, tried the texture in store. I've never really like used it for a prolonged basis on my face. So I still firmly believe that, and it was really effective for my skin. Honestly, it was like mind-blowingly effective, and I do believe that the reason for why my skin looks a little bit more bright in this at 29 basically is because I was using that first treatment essence. But that being said, I wanted to splurge and use these two together with my husband in my 30s because I caved. Basically, this is all to say that I caved into consumerism. But yes, I am going to be trying the SK2 first treatment essence together with my husband. I checked with the store attendant, and because it doesn't contain alcohol, it's not like, you know, any adverse reactions that's gonna happen to me or baby, as well as breastfeeding. So I will try this. It's gonna be a hard time for me when I have to open it, but basically it lasts us for about like a year and a half or something like that, so I better get on it. And a sunscreen that I got from SK2, this one here. I just basically knew that I should not be purchasing any sunscreen in Singapore. This is obviously a segue into my huge sunscreen haul. I found this. I mean, I bought this and I'm already halfway through this. It's crazy. This is called Allie. I believe Allie's in Singapore as well. And this is their UVX sunscreen. Not sure if you can see. I'll show you the texture. Comes out white. I do apply a lot of this. So you can see it's a little bit like milky, but honestly it requires, if you apply a little amount, it requires 0 rubbing effort for it to become clear. But if you apply a lot of it, it comes out a little bit white casty, but just be patient and rub it into the skin. Just know that in Singapore's climate, there can never be too much sunscreen on your face. You basically want more so that it lasts longer, and honestly, I haven't tried this over makeup. It'll be a bit difficult to apply over makeup, but you can use a cushion puff to dab. This formulation is mind-blowing. It's like a milkier Biore Aqua Rich, which I obviously got. So because I love this so much, I got 2 more in this. Some stores don't display this directly outside, so basically they just hang this packaging outside. You have to bring the packaging to the counter, scan it, and then they will retrieve the product for you. I'm not sure why. I just thought like it must be damn good if they don't want people to steal it. But basically, I really do like it. The same line, they do have other kind of formulation. So this one here is, it's like a tone-up kind of thing. I believe it comes out a little bit peachy, which I maybe might use as a blush. This one is sheer beige. I believe it's like more of like a tinted sunscreen kind of a thing. And this one is sheer luminance. It's kind of like a bit more of a pearly thing. So I mean, I really love the original formulation, so I know I'm gonna love these. Because I talked about Biore, we're gonna talk about Biore next. I believe in Singapore we actually do have an extensive collection of Biore, so this is just great timing on my part. Going to Japan to buy it for cheaper. But this one is kind of like a lotion hybrid. It has a bit of like pearly effects. The packaging is so cute. Honestly, I predominantly got it because of the packaging. It has a shaker ball inside, which always is a good sign. It means that, you know, with the separating of the formula, you can always get it to mix together. It comes a little bit more like a dropper thing, so I'll definitely give this a try. One that I actually opened was this one, which I saw a lot of campaigns in Singapore about it, so I was like, wow, it must be good, it must be really handy. You know, all these Gen Z TikTokers are like spraying it at the beach, looking all fancy. But guess what? This thing is oily as hell. I was just like trying to use this up in Japan, like, you know, I mean, I already bought it and it's really oily. It kind of reminds me of the Shiseido stick that I have, but not in a balm form, in a liquid form. So it comes out like greasy and things like that. And the spritz on this, the nozzle, is very aggressive. So when you're spraying it on your face, number one, I suggest don't spray it on your face. Spray it into your hand and then pat it on your face. I was so desperate to get rid of this, and I was spraying it all around her body that I forgot that the nozzle was so aggressive. I sprayed it on her face and accidentally like got into her eye, which I felt really bad about. And I was like, oh, sorry. Like, I'm like, hurry, we have to wash your face because this thing is so oily, and honestly, if you get this in your eye, it kind of stings. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend, even though it's SPF 50 plus. Aqua Rich, I've talked about this for years on my channel. I've actually sent this to a pen pal in the US as well, who is a woman of color. She is so beautiful, guys. Like, I'll leave links down below, and she probably doesn't even know I'm doing this shout out, but she talks a lot about fragrances, so definitely check her out if you like fragrances. This is the Aqua Rich. This is just their generic kind of packaging, but in the upsized version. And I saw the pouch and I was like, oh my gosh, so cute. It's like a reusable, not reusable, but like a refillable pouch. But guess what? I didn't get the nozzle, so I probably have to reach out to some friends who are going to Japan as well to help me get the nozzle, because it's supposed to be like something you can pump, but I'm not sure where the pump is. So yeah, and this is a cooling body spray, I believe. I don't think it has SPF in it, but you know, I guess it will come in handy in Singapore's climate, or when, you know, my husband and I get the hang of taking care of baby and we're willing to like go out for a walk and we need a spritz or something like that, or even if I go for a hike, you know, I can just drop this in my bag, and it's supposed to reduce your body temperature, which is always a good thing in Singapore's climate. And while we were in Japan as well, it was so hot. Like, it was so hot that a few of us got sick. Like, yeah, we were just really dehydrated or very heaty, so we weren't able to kind of like, you know, hydrate ourselves well. But this lowers your body temperature apparently. You do need to check if this has alcohol, but yeah, if anything, my husband definitely can use it because he does walk around his workplace a lot and he typically always gets sunburned. So we'll try this out. Another Tina recommendation is their cleansing oil. I love cleansing oil, so I thought I'd give this a try as well. I think I'm running out of cleansing oils as well, which explains why I got this as well as other cleansing balms. But I got these three. This brand is typically a hair care brand, but they did have a lot of honey based products, which I love. So if you can hear like the external sounds, but it is what it is. I've moved into a new place, so it's pretty noisy. But yeah, this is a cleansing balm. It's honey based, and these are from Matsukiyo as well, the same drugstore that I recommend everyone go to if you can find one. I mean, there's a lot of like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe China owned drugstores or like franchises in Japan. I did go to a lot of those random drugstores to pick up majority of brands that I could find easily, like Biore, Allie, Cezanne, Can Make, that kind of thing. But when it came to Matsukiyo brand only, I went directly there. They had way more of a selection there, and you know, if you can find a Matsukiyo, basically you can find everything I'm talking about. And another kind of spray on sunscreen, I don't know how I got this past TSA, but usually I don't think you can bring aerosols out, but I guess I managed to. This is from Suncut. I bought this there and I started using it there. I mean, obviously anything in this kind of a aerosol spray, it's going to be a very fine mist, so I love it. And I use this on my body, not so much my face. But I heard that this is a good dupe for like a high-end brand, so obviously I love dupes, and this is very good. It comes out a little bit more powdery, which actually I don't hate, because for my body I prefer something a bit powdery, and as I go out and sweat it will become a little greasy. And I got this version as well, which definitely Singapore has, so you guys can definitely check this out. Okay, so that's part 1 of my skincare haul, and hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to reach out to me to ask how I'm experiencing these products and things like that, definitely do leave a comment, reach out to me on Instagram, because I really love talking to you guys. And I really miss YouTube, honestly. I feel like the community is a bit more intentional, not so fast-paced, and you know, as I'm settling down and baby is coming, I just would love to connect with you guys who are mamas as well, or even people who are thinking about settling down. Let's just build like a warm community where we are friends, hopefully. And yeah, I mean, if you guys are in Singapore, I'd definitely love to meet you as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are welcoming me back to YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!